My name is Victor Galaviez. I'm 22. I go to HCC. I work full-time for Geek Squad home theater installations, and I've been coming to Underground for right around a year. Life before Underground, man, it was crazy. A lot of late nights and a lot of early mornings. A lot of mornings showing up to work hungover, showing up to work late. We went out 5 to 6 times a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. We went out to clubs, bars, we went out to house parties, we played beer pong all night. Sometimes we'd even go outside and it'd be light outside. Church for me as a whole and Underground kind of started off with a special someone. Her name is Caitlin. She really wanted me to see another part of her. She wanted me to see a part of Underground, which I didn't know what it was at the time, but I actually liked the name. She told me that there was a lot of music, a lot of fun interaction, and to me music is something that I love and live with every day. So I was like, yeah, why not? And it took me really for about a week to get it through my head that I was actually going to go to church. So on that Thursday that I finally showed up, and I was sitting in my car and I remember thinking to myself, she's already inside. And I definitely sat there for a minute and thought to myself that is this something I really wanted to do? Is, something I feel comfortable with? So I got out the car, got up the courage, built up the courage to walk in and definitely meet a few new people. Once I saw Caitlin, I did feel a little bit more comfortable. It definitely took me a couple more Thursdays to really figure out the emotions and the feelings of how I wanted Underground to feel for me and what it really meant. And me and Caitlin came to an understanding that we didn't want to come as a couple. We didn't want to make Underground something that we couldn't come to if one of us wasn't there or was missing. I would remember when Caitlin used to laugh and used to kind of give me a little nudge because I'd be singing under my breath. I'd start to nod my head a little bit more to worship, and at that point I realized that the church and God as a whole was there on worship. After being involved in Underground and understanding what Underground worship was all about, there was a night that changed. It changed everything. And I remember when Chad was speaking, he asked us to bow our heads in prayer, just like he normally would. And I was always excited to pray. And he asked everyone who hadn't accepted Christ to stand up. And at that point, of an emotion of fear, emotional shock, nervousness, being scared came over my body because I knew that I was one of the people that needed to stand up. But how or when or how was I going to stand up was the question. And something came over me and I just felt that I needed to stand up. And I didn't want Caitlin to think I was weird or anything of that sort. So it took a lot out of me to stand up, and I did. And when he told me, and he looked in our eyes, each one of our eyes that stood up, and he told us thank you for accepting Christ, everything changed. I felt like a big weight was lifted off my shoulder and I was definitely going in the right direction. If you're here for the first time tonight, I challenge you, come back to Underground. It's changed my life and I promise it can change yours.